Hi everyone, welcome back. Now I'd like to start this module by asking you a quick question. Have you ever found yourself making a snap decision about something and later thought, why on earth did I do that? Or maybe you've had those moments where you analyze the situation ever so carefully before finally making a decision. Well, congratulations, you've just met the stars of today's module, your very own System 1 and System 2 thinking. We are going to be diving into Daniel Kahneman's groundbreaking theory, Thinking Fast and Slow. If you haven't yet read this book, I urge you to. It's full of light bulb moments and aha realizations about how our minds work. And today we're going to be exploring his theory to see how it impacts you and your daily or work-related decisions. Ready? Let's go. Now imagine your brain as a workplace. System 1 is like the hyperactive intern, fast, impulsive, and always ready with an answer. System 2, on the other hand, is the thoughtful manager, slow, deliberate, and a bit lazy. Now, System 1 is the reason you instinctively duck when something flies at your face, while System 2 helps you to solve a tricky math problem or make a pro and cons list. But here's the catch. System 1 is always on. It's automatic. System 2, well, let's just say it only clocks in when it absolutely has to. Think of it like this. System 1 is the hare, System 2 is the tortoise. Spoiler alert though, they both have their own strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with our impulsive friend, System 1. So this is the system that makes you jump when you hear a loud noise or when you hear your name being called. Or it's what lets you recognize a friend's face in a crowd. But System 1 isn't perfect. Ever fallen for a magic trick? That's the System 1 being tricked by illusions or shortcuts. Kahneman calls these shortcuts heuristics. They're like a mental life hack that save time, but sometimes lead to funny or disastrous errors. For example, have you ever been to a job interview and within the first minute decided whether or not the interviewer liked you? That's System 1 at work, making a judgment based on a gut feeling. But was it accurate? Maybe, maybe not. That's the beauty, but it's also a challenge of System 1. Okay, let's have some fun. I'm going to read out some common scenarios, and I want you to think about whether you've experienced them or not. Here we go. Now, first, have you ever bought something just because it was on sale, even if you didn't need it? Or have you ever judged someone based on their clothes or accent? Or have you underestimated, perhaps, how long a task would take? If you have, you've experienced System 1 biases. These are called the anchoring effect, the halo effect, and the planning fallacy, respectively. High five to our instinctive brain for keeping life so interesting. Now let's turn our thoughts to the sluggish System 2. This is where the real heavy lifting happens. It's what you're using right now to follow along with this session. Well, unless you've already zoned out, in which case, welcome back. System 2 is deliberate and logical. It's what helps you calculate your budget, learn a new skill, or plan your vacation itinerary. But System 2 isn't all rainbows and sunshine. It's slow and requires effort, which is why we often avoid using it. Ever procrastinated on writing an email or report? That's because System 2 feels like it needs to kick in and work. Now let's put your System 2 to the test. Ready? I'm going to give you a question and I'd like you to solve it. If a bat and a ball cost $1.10 together, and the bat costs $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost? I'll say it again. If a bat and a ball cost $1.10 together, and the bat costs $1 more than the ball, how much does the ball cost? Got the answer? If you answered 10 cents, well, that's your system 1 jumping the gun. The correct answer is actually 5 cents. Don't worry if you got it wrong, most people do. This is what Kahneman calls cognitive strain. It's system 1 saying, hold up, let's think this through. Here's the big takeaway though. System 1 and System 2 aren't enemies, they're teammates. System 1 is your first responder, quick to act, and often reliable. System 2 is your quality control, stepping in to double check when the stakes are high. In the workplace, System 1 can work against us. Now, it's great for repetitive tasks. However, if it is used in the wrong instance, it can lead to negative feelings, mistrust, or even conflict. I've even seen it lead to people getting fired. Imagine a scenario where you're expressing your ideas in a meeting. You think your ideas are great and you've spent a lot of time on them. You've also been looking forward to sharing these ideas and expect unanimous agreement. However, one of your team members challenges you and you are unprepared for their challenge. Immediately you rebut it without thinking through the challenge itself or the answer that you give. It's more of a defensive response. Also, you feel annoyed at the colleague who challenged you, making your response even more snappy. From there on, it escalates, and due to the awkwardness and the way that the criticism was dealt with, it becomes difficult for people in the room to then embrace your ideas so readily. This is all a result of System 1, whereby engaging System 2 would have done a far better job. Be careful also. When we are tired, System 1 may often take charge. It's okay if you're deleting all the spam, junk, advertising emails that have grown in abundance and are cluttering up your inbox. However, not so suitable if you're making important decisions regarding next month's project. Again, System 2 would usually work better in this situation. So perhaps find another time to do it if you can. The key is knowing when to trust your instincts and when to call in the manager. Kahneman gives us a simple rule. When things are familiar or low stake, let System 1 do its thing. But when a situation is complex or critical, pause, breathe, and engage System 2. Now, after this video, what I'd like you to do is to take some time and reflect on recent decisions that you've made. They could be good or bad, or a mixture of both. With each, I'd like you to ask yourself, A, did I act impulsively or did I take my time? Was it a System 1 moment or did I engage System 2? B, was I using the correct system or would the other system have potentially been better? And C, in which parts could I have used the other system to gain even better results? Now, the more you practice identifying these moments, the better you'll get at leveraging both systems. And remember, it's not just about using one system. It's about finding the balance and using the ideal system suited to the scenario alongside the other system. Okay, so keep thinking fast and slow. Please do reflect on this module and perhaps make notes in your notebook, and I'll see you in the next one. Many thanks.